67% of fourth graders in the United States are below grade level for reading proficiency. That's 2/3. 2 out of every 3 fourth graders read below grade level. And this doesn't go away after fourth grade. It's not just something that they ultimately learn to compensate for. In 8th grade, 64% of 8th graders are at or below grade level for reading proficiency. This is a significant problem. It's a problem for, if you want to zoom all the way out, it's a problem for our country as a whole as we continue to try to compete on the global level economically and scientifically and militarily. We need really smart, really well-educated people to be able to do that, to innovate, to grow. Well, we're not training our school children to be competent readers. How are we going to have competent thinkers and people who can be leaders in the world, let alone in our country, let alone in our businesses, let alone in our family life? This is a big problem, big problem. Parents understand that. So the idea is this education reporter, Emily Hanford, investigates, well, what happened? Why are we failing children? And this, by the way, this statistic is not, it's not just inner city schools, right? Or Black children that are failing while affluent neighborhoods with white children are doing well. This has nothing to do with racial divide. This has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. This is consistent across the board, which you could argue, especially as it relates to socioeconomic status, makes it even stranger. Because oftentimes you'll have failing schools in areas that are poorer, whether it's a rural area, maybe Appalachia, or whether it's an inner city school in Chicago. These poorer schools with children that come from lower socioeconomic status do worse than public schools in richer areas, but not with reading. With reading, it is pretty consistent across the board. So Emily Hanford investigates and finds that this idea has infiltrated, or an idea has infiltrated our public school system about how to teach children to read. Now, you and I might be thinking, okay, well, like phonics, right? Like oh, that's how we all learned to read. Ball. That's how we learned to read. That's how we became proficient readers. Well, evidently, that is not how children are taught to read in the public school system anymore. Phonics is not in school. Phonics is not a thing. You are not taught to sound out words. You are not taught how to read in school anymore because an idea has infiltrated this institution, an idea without any basis whatsoever that, and probably won't be surprised about this idea that is without science, without basis, that is ineffective, has profited certain people to the tune of over $1 billion.